Welcome back, No Cap Sports, episode number 49, the Shaquem Griffin episode.
Back with another 5 segment. Got my guys. It's really good to be back with y'all for the first time in some months. Just in the actual studio. But a lot of
Hopefully you get back with your barber soon.
There was no reason to call me out like that, bro. You see, like the people see I had a nice hat on my head. Like it was no reason to do that. But I'm so y'all know I'm a man. I live in my truth. But back to this music. That was none of that wasn't needed, bro. Not needed. But Moneybagg just dropped a new Rookie of the Year not album, single. I assume that Ja Morant was gonna be on the song because they've been talking about this for a while, and they put videos on IG of them in the studio. But it was just another Bag song. So did y'all listen to it?
No, I haven't heard it yet.
I actually didn't know yet.
No. I got through about 30 seconds of it. I just didn't feel it because I listened to it, right after the when it dropped at midnight. The vibe wasn't right. Like we just lost. Bag just dropped another project that we already talked about out here. That was just my co-host ain't got to it, so we're gonna have to get it INC incomplete because 30 seconds. I like Moneybagg a lot. He's from Memphis. He's probably no one album in the world right now, but the last "What Have You Done For Me Lately" not looking good. And if y'all want to pull up that first 30 seconds, y'all probably say the same thing. So I wanted to hear Ja Morant rap. So that's really what I tuned
So
in
he's
for.
not rapping.
No, he's not rapping. But guess what else got a song that's gonna come out? Kawhi Leonard.
I thought he was just producing.
He's supposed to be on the album. He was not on the song that dropped with Rod and Youngboy.
Mm-hmm.
That's a combination right there. Anyways,
Is Mikey Williams not supposed to be on it?
I think he was too. Actually, I don't know if but I think he had some credits on there.
Wow.
Kawhi Leonard, Mikey Williams, Rod Wave, and Young on the same album. Things you wouldn't have never said in 2021.
Yeah. But while we on the topic, bro, you talked about Ja Morant, supposed to have a verse. You talked about Kawhi Leonard with a verse coming soon. So who's the greatest athlete / rapper in history? Only one name comes to my mind.
Don't say Dame.
Oh,
Please
definitely
don't.
not.
I'm
I'm not gonna lie to y'all, bro. My favorite right now, straight out of Detroit, bro. Miles Bridges.
MB. No.
All right, who you gonna say?
No. Shaq. Gotta be Shaq.
Come on.
Biological didn't. He was only. He got a song with Biggie. Come on now. They don't. Come on. I mean, they ain't got Wayne featuring. The best that he did was rap at the All-Star game. So not a lot of competition out here.
Miles Bridges.
He got bars.
He had bars, and he had questionable bars, and the NBA didn't even investigate him.
So you giving him credit for that?
Yeah.
Questionable bars, and the NBA didn't even question.
He said he flushed that down the toilet. NBA ain't even drug tested. Greatest NBA rapper of all time. Greatest sports rapper of all time.
He top 3, but you already know I'm gonna have to go with my 2 favorite players right now. Lonzo Ball, Kyle Kuzma. Kyle Kuzma wasn't a bop, bro.
What?
Y'all ain't never heard Kyle Kuzma.
No, I didn't know Lonzo. No.
You ain't never heard Kyle Kuzma.
No.
I was like, why you give Kuzma a nickname like that, bro?
The Lakers stopped him from doing this, bro. I'm like dead serious. They was like, you gotta stop messing with Kyle Kuzma like this. I'm dead serious.
This was a diss track?
Yes, he dissed Kyle Kuzma. You've never heard this.
No.
He the best. All right. Number 2, I'm gonna have to go with the Rookie of the Year, Anthony Edwards, bro.
I ain't never heard
Never heard of Anthony Edwards track.
All right, I'm gonna pull up the freestyle. Y'all gonna have to listen to it.
We're not talking about no Quick 16, where we talking about people that's got a track.
Man.
Yeah.
All right, when he drop it, it's gonna go number 1. Anything he do, he the
is
best.
from Atlanta, though. He might go crazy.
He the best.
Man, it's facts. He did say he the best at everything he does. Baseball, all of that.
We'll see, though. But, the last thing, the music business, Soulja Boy and Bow Wow got a verses going on. Quickly, name one Bow Wow song, either one of y'all.
Kiss me through the phone.
Come on, bro.
What he say?
Kiss me through the phone.
That's Soulja Boy. You said Bow Wow, bro.
Yeah.
Like me with Sierra.
Okay.
That's a whole.
I wasn't gonna say that, but he definitely did some stuff with Sierra. So, we don't have no comments about that, really. I don't think that's really our demographic.
Wow.
What you mean? That's how I grew up.
Oh, Bow Wow. I mean, Soulja Boy, yeah. Even Soulja Boy was up to like middle school. I mean, he going crazy on TikTok. But when the last time you went on your phone was like Soulja Boy.
A couple days ago.
That just shows how lame you are. That's crazy.
Wow.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm the Guinness World Record holder for most times watching Like Mike.
The Guinness
So
World Record.
that lets you know how I grew up.
I feel that. I definitely watched it a couple times on a road trip. But yeah. I mean, I guess Soulja Boy, just because I know more of his music, I guess it'll be. I mean, he has more music, a lot more successful music than Bow Wow. So I don't see why we even have this matchup. To be honest, I feel like there's a lot more artists that we could.
I mean,
Who you think gonna win though?
Soulja gonna win
For sure, that's what I'm saying. Like this is a mismatch, and it's a mismatch that we don't even care about.
I mean, it's not a mismatch, bro. It's a beef that's been going on that I remember all over YouTube since I was young.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's one for the culture, bro. It's not about the music, it's for the culture, bro.
Don't know what culture they're referring to, but okay, yeah. So this is really our demographic. This is what it's for.
You didn't grow up on YouTube?
I grew up on Soulja Boy. Like Bow Wow, I remember from Like Mike. That's about it.
That's it.
Yeah, you sleep. You don't remember the one-on-one with Kobe?
Again, have you said anything about some music? Like I remember these things, but
like I said, it's about culture. It's not about music. It's about
he
culture.
still gotta play 20 songs. Did Bow Wow even make 20 songs?
Yeah. He gonna have about 10 that are hits. Bro.
Yeah, like it's gonna be some songs by Bow Wow that you be like, oh my god, I forgot this song, and I forgot this song was Bow Wow. So then when it come on, you gonna be like, wow, Bow Wow really got more hits than I thought he did.
Okay.
Yeah, bro.
It's definitely not true, but I trust Nick in advance of judgment, so I guess
And
we'll go.
it's Big Bow Wow, not the little.
It's Shad Moss, actually.
Really? Ever since he could, sorry, Shad. You know, I don't have no comments. I guess it's always be Bow Wow for me.
All right, bro. Got another versus for y'all. So I'm gonna give y'all player A and a player B. This is gonna be football edition.
Ooh, okay.
All right. Player A has 0 Super Bowl wins. This is in both 10-year careers. Player B has 1 Super Bowl win and 2 appearances. All right. Player A has played in 5 more games than player B. That's 135 to 130. Okay, so now we're going to go down to receptions.
Okay, receiver.
Player A has 848 receptions. Player B has 870 receptions. So he has 22 more receptions than player A. All right, yards-wise, player A has more yards. Player A has 12,896 yards. Player B has 11,579 yards. Therefore, player A has 1,317 more yards. All right, so now we're going to go down to yards per reception. Player A has 15.2 yards per reception. Player B has 13.3, so there's only 2 more yards. I mean, that's a lot of yards, though.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're going to go down to touchdowns. This is where player B kind of catches back up. Player A has 60 touchdowns over 10 years. Player B has 79 touchdowns over 10 years. That's 19 more touchdowns. All right, yards from scrimmage, player A has 13,014 yards. Player B has 11,701 yards. So that's 1,300 more yards from scrimmage. In terms of fumbles, turning the ball over, player A has only turned it over 11 times. Player B has turned it over 14 times.
You the receiver guy.
Who would y'all pick?
My pick, I'm gonna go player B, because with player B, you obviously get the red zone production. You don't get the crazy amount of yards, but you get the red zone production. That's really important, especially receiver. Every receiver wants to catch touchdowns and get jiggy with the ball. So also I'm gonna go player B. Just the amount of receptions, that's what you're looking for if you're a quarterback. You want a receiver who's dependable, who you can get the ball whenever nothing's open or whenever you're in trouble. So that's why I'm going with player B.
I'm going with player B too. It was actually pretty close until they got, the total yardage is a moderate gap, but the touchdowns, like you said, niggas, the big separator for me, so I'm going to go with player B as well.
Yeah, I like that. I'm going to go with the same reason for y'all that y'all said. 19 more touchdowns. 19 times 6 is 114. That's a lot of points, bro.
Yeah.
Facts.
Do y'all have any guesses on who these players are?
Player B, I kind of want to say is Julian Edelman.
He got more than 1 Super Bowl though, huh?
Yeah.
More than 2 appearances.
Yeah, he had more than 2 appearances.
1 Super Bowl, 2 appearances. How many touchdowns did player B have?
Player B has 79 touchdowns in 10 years.
That sounds like Randy.
Are these current players or all time?
Yeah, they're both current players.
Oh, wow.
10-year careers, guys who've been in the league a while.
They got 2 Super Bowl. One they got
Player
2 Super Bowl
player
appearances.
A has 1 appearance, no Super Bowls.
Oh.
Player B has 2 appearances, 1 Super Bowl win.
Player A, Julio.
Yes.
And player B.
A lot of touchdowns.
Nah,
I give y'all a hint. He's in the NFC right now.
In the NFC.
Alright,
Been
cool.
to the Super Bowl 3 times.
Twice. Got one.
Got a ring. You played for Philadelphia?
No.
Excuse my cheating, y'all.
NFC.
I don't know the conferences that
Super
well.
Bowl. One Super Bowl win. 2 appearances.
Come on, y'all. It's not that hard. Why y'all making it difficult?
Is it dead? No. Dead?
It's
in the
not
league
that
right
difficult. Bro, he's in the league right
Devontae.
now. No.
Devontae ain't been in no
Think
Super Bowl.
about
You're
it, bro. Use
He
common
was
sense.
good.
Who been the best receivers, bro? Just name the best
They've been in the Super
receivers.
Bowl though.
Yeah.
Just name the best receivers, bro.
D-Hop,
No.
Devontae,
No.
Mike Evans.
Oh my God. Y'all are disrespectful. He's disrespectful too.
But it's the fact. NFC.
Come on,
been
bro.
To the Super Bowl twice.
Yes.
Oh,
Y'all gonna be pissed when I tell y'all.
is it Slam Boy?
No, Slam Boy ain't been in no
He
Super Bowl.
has he been in there 5 years,
No.
bro?
That's what I'm trying to think. It's
Y'all wanna hear the answer? Y'all wanna keep
Nah,
guessing?
out.
Keep guessing. Just keep guessing.
Is Larry? No, Larry only been the one.
I mean, he said he been the one. That
This
was-
gonna piss y'all off, bro.
Oh, has he? One with the Steelers.
Y'all want another hint?
Yeah.
He's also played in the AFC.
He's in the NFC currently.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
AB. Come on, bro.
Oh, that's your guy too.
It's AB. So who would y'all pick?
All right, so we finna hop right back into it. Josh, you said something pretty disrespectful earlier, and I wanted to hold it for now. Because right now we finna go into Patriots camp, but we gonna talk. Which quarterback is best for the Patriots and their offense for this season 2021? Mac Jones or Cam Newton? So Josh, earlier you said that Cam's done. So talk to me.
I mean, multiple interceptions, double-digit interceptions last year. Then let me see. I don't think he cracked 10 passing touchdowns. 12, not elaborate. And I just don't think that the Patriot system, is going to fit him with the dink and dunk stuff. He has a very powerful arm, and yet he doesn't have any downfield guys to go get the football. So, I mean, it was great to see him, utilized as a rushing threat. I hadn't really seen him running like that since he was at Auburn. But in terms of him passing the football and being a quarterback, I think Mac Jones is a better fit.
So let me talk to you real quick.
You talking to me? My bad. Sorry for all our Caucasian viewers.
All right. So let me talk to you real quick. Last offseason, COVID. Cam doesn't sign with the Patriots until July 8th. That's 3 months into free agency. So all the guys who signed at the beginning of free agency, guess what they get? Playbooks, workouts, Zoom meetings, all that kind of stuff to get in the film room, understand the offense, understand what's going to be expected of them when they report to camp. Guess when camp started?
Always.
July 23rd. So Cam essentially had 2 weeks to get in the playbook, get in the film room. He couldn't go to New England and be in the facility because of COVID, but get on Zoom meetings, things like that to understand and get a grasp of the Patriots offense. And so you know how things are in camp. We all know how things are in camp. We all play football. You come to camp, you're expected to know, execute, and perform.
Automatically.
Off the rip. Don't matter if you're a freshman or anything. But this is the NFL. We got college playbooks. This is the NFL.
Yeah.
This is
Bill Belichick.
not exactly.
Look.
This is not just any NFL team either. This is the team that Tom Brady just left.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Brady, the master QB, master chess player. And you telling me Cam's supposed to pick that playbook up and completely understand it in 2 weeks? Mm. And so I will give Cam credit. There's no preseason games. Your first game was September 13th. So you get about 2 months of practices. You're still trying to learn everything on the fly. And guess what? He did all of that, started out hot. Started out 2-1 in the team's first 3 games. They lost to Seattle. That was the only loss in the first 3. And that came down to a goal line play. And in those 3 games, Cam, he was completing almost 70% of his passes. He was throwing for about 238 passing yards a game. He had a 397-yard performance versus Seattle. He set the record for Julian Edelman in terms of most receiving yards in a game. Brady didn't do it. Cam Newton did it. He also was averaging around 1 touchdown a game. Also averaging around 1 interception a game. but he's also putting on top of that 50 rushing yards a game to go with about 1.5 touchdowns a game. So when you take all that into consideration, he started out well, started out great. You're putting up, regardless of it being passing, rushing, touchdown, whatever, you're putting up about 3 touchdowns a game compared to 1 interception. Mm-hmm. I'll take that any day from any quarterback. Of course, we all know Cam got COVID. And so I was watching I Am Athlete podcast. Cam was on there, and he was talking. And it was real. It was real. He missed the Kansas City game. He missed about 10 days with COVID. You can't be in the facility. You got to get on Zoom meetings. You probably can't really work out because you're quarantined. You're isolated. You by yourself. Your trainer can't come see you. Nobody can come catch for you. You just locked in that room. And he said over those 10 days, the Patriot train kept moving. Cam wasn't on that train. So when he came back after his quarantine, after he got cleared from COVID, he was playing catch-up. Because, of course, they kept installing things, kept moving forward, kept getting better. But Cam was locked up for 10 days. He couldn't do it. And so he said the rest of the season he's playing catch-up. And guess what that does? It made him think instead of being able to go out there and play. And we all know that when you just go out there and play without having to think about anything, that's when you play the best. Especially playing quarterback.
You going so hard for your team.
How long?
All 3 conservative Republican NFL fans.
How long, bro? Okay, so anyway,
Go crazy.
Like I said, Cam said that caused him to do more thinking than actual playing. And we all know when you play without thinking, that's when you play your best football. That's when you play your best football. You can all attest to it. Josh, when you're thinking about the defensive call, are you going to execute that move to get the sack as well as you would have?
I'm always get to the sack, but I feel what you're trying to say, though.
Okay, for sure. But anyway, what I'm saying is, bro, we're looking at Cam now. He's been through a whole season with the Patriots. Now he's going to have a full off season with the Patriots. So now he's going to be able to get in that film room, understand that offense, break everything down, work on his technique some more, and come back and be the quarterback that we are used to Cam Newton being. I'm not going to say he's going to be the MVP Cam he was before, but he's going to be a more than capable starting quarterback. And then you think about it. Last year, who was his best receiver?
N'Keal Harry?
James White.
Oh, who's that punt returner, bro?
Gunnar Olszewski?
Was it him?
Didn't even know that was is that a TV character?
I mean, I'm just going to say, their best receiver last year, well, none of the receivers on the roster cracked 800 yards.
Sheesh.
The best receiver in terms of yardage was Jacoby Myers with 729. Julian Edelman was out for a lot of the season. N'Keal Harry was N'Keal Harry. You didn't have any production from your tight ends. James White caught a lot of balls, of course, because that's his role in New England. But you didn't have any weapons. And that's part of the reason why Brady left town. And we saw that full effect last year. But this year, you bring in some playmakers. You bring in Kendrick Bourne. You bring in Nelson Aguilar. You bring in Hunter Henry. You bring in Jonnu Smith, the red zone demon. Cam's going to come out and produce this year. That's all I got to say.
So you're saying Cam Newton is the better fit?
Cam Newton is by far the better fit than Mac Jones.
Do you believe in Mac Jones? Do you think he can be a good quarterback in the NFL?
So looking at Mac Jones, I was skeptical at first. This is a guy coming from Alabama. You throw into a Heisman winner. Jalen Waddle, one of the fastest guys on the field. Jaleel Billingsley, who's going to be one of the better tight ends when he comes out, just because of his versatility. And you also got Najee Harris, a guy who scored 3 receiving touchdowns for you in the SEC championship game.
Weapons everywhere.
Weapons that are better than the competition you're playing against. So, of course, there's going to be a lot of easy completions for you. But I had to take a step back. A good quarterback completes passes, finds open receivers. That's what he did. He did it efficiently. And so far, reports have been positive coming out of New England training camp about things he's doing in 7-on-7s and 11-on-11s. So do I think he will be good for the future? Yes. But right now, for the 2021 season, I want to see Cam Newton. I think Cam Newton is the best answer, the best solution for the Patriots.
Well, I mean, I definitely, you brought up a lot of good points, but the thing I would say to combat that and stand on my point is, just like you said, Cam's second year in the system, and you have added the comfortability, in the playbook knowledge. This is, we all know, the league has a year of film on Cam. No disrespect to Kendrick Bourne and Nelson Aguilar, because I guess athletes nowadays can hop on YouTube and start dragging you. But they're never been number one guys. I don't feel like either one of those guys are gonna put Cam over the top to where DCs are gonna be like, oh, we have the game plan for these guys. So I mean, those are good additions, but will either one of those guys crack 60 catches? I really don't.
Yeah,
think so.
I agree. I don't think either one of those guys are legitimate number ones, and that's still a problem. Yes,
I just think
but now you have receiving weapons instead of having none. Because when you're throwing out lineups of Jacoby Myers, N'Keal Harry, Gunnar Olszewski, guys like that, it's a problem.
All right, besides Steve Smith, who's the other receivers for Cam in Carolina?
You had Kelvin Benjamin for a year, Kevin Samuels, DJ Moore. Greg Olsen was always there consistent.
Out of all, DJ Moore was good. Steve Smith was good.
Kelvin Benjamin, he was good. He was a dog when he was in shape.
Torrey Smith.
Who?
Kelvin Benjamin. He was a dog when he was in shape.
He put up a 1,300 year season.
Is he a tight end, bro?
No,
now,
I
think he is now.
He plays for somebody.
He just signed with somebody.
He jumped on the Chiefs, maybe. It's something. I saw he came
Big
back.
McFarland said he was a biscuit away from becoming a tight end. He spoke into existence. I mean, I'm become full circle on Cam. What I wanted to see when he signed, I wanted to see McDaniels, change the system. I wanted to see more downfield stuff. I wanted to see guys that were going to make plays over the top. And to me, to see Cam strapped in like that, you did refer to his lack of weapons, but the play calling, it was a lot. Like I said, James White was second on the team in receptions. I think the play calling, the system, and the culture is more fitted to a quarterback like Mac Jones than it is Cam Newton. I mean, I just think that Mac Jones. I mean, they did use a first round pick on him. Well, they did use one on Jimmy Garoppolo way back when, but the system, the player, and the fit, I think is more aligned with Belichick and Josh McDaniels than Cam Newton is.
I mean, I agree with what you're saying in terms of. Actually, I don't agree with you because New England changed the whole offense around last year. It was a lot more QB runs, QB sweep, QB power, those type of things.
But I'm talking about the route tree that the guys were running.
And the route tree that they ran was very Cam friendly. They didn't have the personnel of guys to take the top off. They truly didn't. Their best deep guy last year, in my opinion, was Julian Edelman. And he showed that in the game versus the Seahawks. He burnt Jamal Adams on like a 70-yard reception, things like that. And Cam was doing a good job of feeding him the ball. But when you look at the Patriots offense, Cam also is his mechanics aren't the best. I will say that. In terms of feeding the pocket, his throwing mechanics, they're not the best. But with the things they were doing, a lot of quick hitting stuff, that's good for a quarterback. That's good for a quarterback with poor mechanics, because now you have less time to sit in the pocket, lose your feet, lose your balance. Now it's catch, throw, we moving the ball.
I mean,
and that also comes back to the time we missed with COVID.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting less. Well, not even the time you missed with COVID. The late signing, the time you missed with COVID. It all comes back to all of that because you're getting less time to spend with these wide receivers, getting that time and getting that tempo together, to where you guys feel comfortable with each other.
Are you saying Mac Jones is a better fit next season than Cam Newton?
I have him starting.
Yes or no? Yes or no? He's a better fit.
Yeah.
Man, so what you got to say?
I mean, bro, I'm not gonna say anything bad about Mac Jones because I haven't seen anything bad from Mac Jones. But because he does throw his receivers open, but he did have superstars at every position. So you really won't know until you throw him out there. But just in terms of Cam, I agree with you. Everything you said, I was going to say, I swear. Yeah. Like, I saw that interview with Chad Ochocinco, bro. It's a great interview. And he made a lot of sense because when you get hurt, bro, it's just like getting your body back right. It's just not the same. I mean, then he said the mental part, bro. That type of playbook, you can't... That's a hard playbook to deal with. But just looking at it, bro, in the first 3 games before he caught COVID, he scored 30-plus times twice.
Yeah.
After that, in the last 13 games, he only scored 30-plus points 2 more times, bro. So just looking at that, if he didn't get caught up in that COVID situation, bro, he had to miss 1 game, I feel like it would have been a really different story for the Patriots. They probably wouldn't have made the playoffs, honestly.
Yeah. No,
I would say they would have. And did they get better? Yes. Who did they draft? Did they have a first-rounder?
Mac Jones.
Oh, Mac. Yeah. They should have.
And then they picked up the defensive tackle Barmore from Alabama in the second
Christian
round.
Barmore, definitely a dog.
Yeah. And I think, as we're talking about this, I think that's why Cam's going to be more successful this year as well. That defense got better. So now you don't have to rely on Cam to be super Cam all the time. Cam can do what he has to do, move the ball. I'm not going to say he's going to be a game manager, but all the weight won't be on his shoulders. Because you think about it, they bring Dante Hightower back. He opted out last year. They had a great draft in terms of bringing in defensive talent. Great draft and free agency. They bring Kyle Noy back. Patricia's back on the staff. You make all of these moves, and the Patriots defense starting to look scary again.
A lot of this stuff, though, I'm going to say it was last year. They would have made the playoffs this year. Bro, it's a hard division, bro.
Yeah.
I just want to see him get out of the pocket more. I mean, I don't want. He is a great, goal line end zone option, but he's getting older in age. I don't want to see him have as many rushing attempts as he had last year. But I will say this: until I can see him getting more out of the pocket, play action things like that, and them attacking more downfield, I think it will be more of last season than what y'all are being expecting.
Interesting, bro. I mean, you really just saying Mac Jones is a better fit.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna bash you for that. I just think you're wrong.
All right, so now we're gonna talk about this more. We just talked about Mac Jones, so now I want to talk about what incoming rookies do y'all think are gonna have the biggest impact on their teams this upcoming season? So I'm gonna start this out, and I'm gonna keep it simple. Trevor Lawrence, winning pedigree.
Ooh, safe way.
Oh yeah, that's real safe.
Yeah. Real safe.
Real safe. Because I know he's not gonna flop.
I mean, we don't. We gonna get the opportunity to.
I mean, when you throw into a guy like Tim Tebow, how can you fail? How can you fail?
Hey, cut the cameras off, bro. Cut the cameras off. Go ahead. You talk about some more smart stuff like Tim Tebow being a dynamic receiver.
Anyway, Tim Tebow.
Oh no! Keep going, brother. Conservative Republican football fan.
Tim Tebow, the second greatest college football player of all time, switching positions, going to tight end. He probably gonna have about 100 receiving yards this year, but he probably gonna have like 16 touchdowns. Because when it gets to the goal line, guess who's coming in? It's Tebow time. Tebow time.
So, Taysom Hill, yes or no? Maybe.
That nigga ass. But anyway.
You ain't seen like he was looking swole in the pictures, man. Come on now.
He was hyping him, bro.
You sleep, bro.
Come on now. No, we definitely snoring on him. But what you woke with something on Tim Tebow?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He has the power of Christ with him, bro. Like,
what? We want to laugh at that.
I never doubt Tim Tebow.
Yeah, he does have the power of Christ.
He
and
does.
you combine that with Trevor Lawrence's athleticism, arm strength, accuracy, and winning pedigree, the Jaguars go from 1-15 to probably like 5-12. That's an improvement from last year.
I mean, yeah.
And that's going to keep going with Trevor Lawrence at the helm.
Their defense still booty, bro.
Exactly.
They're going to be just like the Falcons.
Exactly. I think this is a team that's going to put up a lot of points with Trevor Lawrence. They got a lot of weapons down there. You look at Laviska Shenault. That was one of my favorite receivers coming out last year. DJ Shark, 1,000-yard receiver last year. Jacobs, and they brought ETN in with Lawrence. So I think that's going to be a dangerous offense. Trevor Lawrence going to put up a lot of gaudy numbers. I wouldn't be surprised if he does that. And it's just, it's Trevor Lawrence. Can't go wrong with Trevor Lawrence. The chosen one.
I feel that. I'm going to definitely go with another catching threat. Not catching threat. A guy that Urban Meyer would have drafted. He said he had the opportunity. Kadarius Toney. Running back, receiver, dual threat guy at Florida. Over 1,100 yards his last season. And, man, we all saw the clip of the Senior Bowl. Yeah. Somebody that was a running back primarily throughout their career, for him to get out of the breaks, move like that. He did drop a pass, but for him to be so comfortable out there and to look like a slot from day one, that was definitely something that, I think Daniel Jones can capitalize off of. Saquon Barkley is back there. They're building a repertoire of weapons, and I want to see how Kadarius Toney can fit into the Giants team.
But I find it interesting how you say it, Tony. How do you see him fitting in that Giants offense that already has good young receivers with Sterling Shepard, with Darius Slayton, guys that Daniel Jones obviously trusts? How do you see him fitting in?
I mean, I definitely think that he can take some of the load off Saquon in terms of not being a power back, but getting 5 to 10 carries a game, stretch, outside zone, things where he can get outside the tackles and make big plays. I think for year one, it'll be more about figuring his role, figuring out where's the best to get him the ball. But I think he's better than Darius Slayton and Sterling Sharp. I mean, in terms of dynamic ability to make big plays, I mean, they're probably better pure receivers. Yeah. But I would rather have the ball like Darius Toney.
Yeah, bro. Daniel Jones has like a top 10 arm, bro. Just arm strength. Yeah. And Kadarius Toney can run, bro. It might honestly look like a Walmart version of Pat Mahomes and Tyreek Hill. I can't lie to you, bro. I completely forgot he went to the Giants. Yeah. And just think about Evan Ingram, if he can finally catch the ball. They might have something because you're going to have Saquon coming back, bro. So it might get spooky. Imagine them in a dual back set. Kadarius Toney on the left side, Saquon on the right side. That's a long day, bro.
Yeah.
And we know Urban Meyer is a rookie NFL head coach, but how many times do you hear coaches come out during the draft and say, I would have drafted this guy?
Yeah.
You don't really hear that too often. For him to say that, Urban Meyer coming from Florida and Kadarius Toney playing in Florida and just the weapons that he'll be coming into, I think he'll be able to flourish quickly.
And I find it interesting you bring Urban Meyer up because if you remember when Urban Meyer was coaching at Florida, he had Percy Hart. That's a lot of what I see.
How did you pull that one out of? Okay.
So I see why Urban Meyer was getting at that, and that makes a lot of sense because Urban Meyer probably would have used him in a Percy Harvin type role in the NFL, and that's actually what he's doing with Travis Etienne. So
I think that's the thing. I think that was a stretch. I like Etienne. I think he's naturally more. Clemson didn't use him as a receiver at all, essentially, besides running back screen. So I see what Urban Meyer's trying to do, but keep Etienne a running back. I don't like it.
Dang, that's kind of hard, bro. But you know who is going to stop him? The Cowboys' first-round pick, Micah Parsons, bro.
Oh, same division.
The best defender in the draft, bro. In my opinion, just eyeball test. When I think about everybody that was in the draft, he was the best defender by far. I think the Cowboys, they actually, I know they wanted what was his name?
Horn.
Huh?
Horn.
Or Surtain.
No. They wanted Patrick Surtain, who's gonna be a nice player for years to come. But I think Michael Parsons is the right pick. You got 2 linebackers and Vander Ish, and then you got Jalen Smith. All right, so you got Vander Ish and Jalen Smith. There come Jalen Smith, bro. He can't cover to save his life, bro.
Yeah.
It's horrible. He lets them catch and then he chases them down for a first down. It pisses me off. Then you got Vander Ish. His neck gonna collapse. He gonna turn into dust, little Thanos dust, in after about 3 or 4 games. But now you got Michael Parsons. He can rush the passer. You know, he had 5 sacks in the last season he played. He sat out last season because of COVID. But he had 5 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, and 109 tackles, bro. If you can get 100 tackles in 17 games out of Michael Parsons, bro, sideline to sideline, I think you're going to get Rookie of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year for sure.
Yeah, I like Michael Parsons because I remember that Cotton Bowl versus Memphis. He was everywhere.
Didn't like him then. Didn't like what he was doing in Memphis.
Well, yeah.
Definitely showed out his NFL potential.
But I will say, there's another guy coming to the NFC East that's going to have a bigger impact than both of y'all's guys.
Who?
In Philadelphia, Devontae Smith.
No.
Smitty. Heisman winner. He's going to come into Philadelphia and be the number 1 receiver off the jump. That means a lot more than you think it does because that means just about the majority of concepts, the majority of just the flow of the offense in terms of passing game is going to flow through D. Smitty. So he's going to put up some big-time numbers in Philadelphia. You look at this team last year, this offseason, they cut their losses. The Jeffrey, Deshaun Jackson experiment didn't work, cut both of them. So now you're looking at that Philadelphia team, and the only significant returners they have are Travis Fulgham, their leading receiver from last year, who had 539 yards and was activated from the practice squad in the middle of the season. You also got Greg Ward coming back.
He was good at Houston at quarterback.
Exactly. And you got Jalen Reagor. I don't want to call him a bust yet, but he's had some
First
problems.
year?
He's had some problems with drops,
Wow.
had some problems with inconsistency. I don't know if he's a true receiver or just a gadget guy. But now you bring in D. Smitty, complete receiver, good hands, good routes, good separation. He's going to come in and instantly be receiver 1. And that bond he's going to form with Jalen Hurts is going to be something dangerous. 1.5 former Alabama guys, I guess. Jalen Hurts finished his career at Oklahoma.
1.5.
But, just that connection they have and the connection that they will build in Philadelphia, seeing as he'll be the number 1 and Jalen Hurts is QB1, I think it'll be something dangerous in the NFC East.
You definitely stole my pick. But, Devontae Smith, I was, the production and the NFL translatable traits, I always wondered why he wasn't, more in the conversation with Chase as the number 1 wide receiver. But I would have to go with Kyle Pitts as the best pass catcher in this draft. High-end drafted receiver in NFL history, John Mackey Award winner. We touched on him a little bit, in the Julio section about, the physical traits that he has. And the only thing that, I feel like separates him from Devontae in Philadelphia, he's going into a better situation, at least offensively, with Matt Ryan, Tiger, a defined offensive system where a good quarterback and another solid option beside him, Calvin Ridley. And I just like the frame, the ability to go get the ball, the speed. Devontae Smith, you know, he beats you in a lot of ways, but just in terms of get off the bus crew, that's not going to be him.
Yeah.
I think just the way that the defense are going to defend Kyle Pitts and the uniqueness of his play style and his ability, that's going to be something that not a lot of guys in the field, you know, linebacker safety are going to have encountered before. So I think just off that, he could go for 11,000 yards, 1,200 yards his first year.
As a tight end.
You want to know what receiver?
I don't think it'll say T on the position sheet, but he'll have his hand in the dirt 4 times a game.
You want to know what receiver's going to have the most yards out of the rookies this upcoming draft?
Learn me
or
something.
in this draft? Terrace Marshall Jr., bro.
Ooh, Carolina.
Carolina Panthers, he's going to have Sam Darnold, bro. I think he's going to have a lot of freedom considering Jonathan Stewart and Christian McCaffrey's coming back. So it's going to be a lot of one-on-ones, bro. You got DJ Moore still on the other side.
Robbie Anderson, too.
That's what I'm saying. So he's going to be one-on-ones. I think the Panthers about to get kind of freaky out there, bro.
Yeah, and then you got to remember he's, you know, linking up with his former college offensive coordinator. What's his name? Joe Brady.
Yeah.
He's on Matt Rule's staff.
Okay.
So I think that's a good pick because he knows Terrence Marshall. Terrence Marshall knows him. I think they're going to get to work in Carolina.
Good highway speed guy, got a little bit overshadowed at LSU. I think that was a good one, man. I had to pull out a rabbit my hat last. You know, you talked about Michael Parsons, best defender in the draft. A lot of guys said that my guy, Jeremiah Wuzie, was the best defender in the draft, and the slide that he had was, you know, crazy considering, you know, Buckets Award winner, first team All-American in Notre Dame, big brand, big school, you know, physical trait, ran a 4.3, although I guess everybody ran a 4.3 this year. But you know, production, you know, what am I trying to say? The need for Cleveland with the suspect linebacker play that they had. I mean, he's kind of what everybody's looking for, that money backer, you know, runs like a coverage guy, gets hit in the box. So I think that, honestly, you know, if he can become an impact defender, a lot of the draft picks the Browns had, you know, recently, mainly Greedy and Grand Delpit, haven't panned out, you know, as well as they probably planned. But having a guy like that in the middle of the field, I think that can definitely rejuvenate that Cleveland defense. I mean, they already got to the playoffs last year, beat Pittsburgh. You know, getting a field general, a Roquan Smith kind of guy in the middle of the field, you know, that raised their ceiling, you know, pretty high.
I can't lie to you, bro. I've never watched a Notre Dame football game.
You know, you probably watched it when they got blew up Alabama.
They're boring.
I mean, I'm not
they're boring. I can't watch Notre Dame football games, so I'm gonna take your word for it.
I didn't watch Notre Dame games with him. I watched his highlights. He happened to be on Notre Dame.
Okay.
But now he's 6'3", 6'4", 240, 250. I mean, you know, money backer. That's what the guy everybody looking for. Somebody that can, you know, stay with the slot and, you know, come inside the backer and bang in between the tackles. And he's probably the best. I mean, Michael Parsons is he does it too. He's a really good pass rusher, but, you know, physically, I think honestly, Wuzie and Michael Parsons, they were, you know, 1A and 1B going into the draft. And for Michael, you know, stay in the middle of the first round. If him not fall with a 39. You know, guys like that, you know, between the first and second round, he's going to have a little chip on his shoulder. You know, he got invited to the green room. So I think that'll be his ability and the fit for the Browns. I think he'll be able to make an instant impact day one.
Wayne Haskins had a chip on his shoulder, too.
Bro,
To be honest, I'm more motivated now than ever. There's a bigger chip on my shoulder. The league done messed up, and I'm just blessed by God, blessed by my family. I'm right down the street, so we're going to do it right this time, so it's crazy.
So to close this NFL heavy segment out, you know, as teams going to training camp and things like that, let's make some predictions. What team do you guys think will be the biggest surprise this year? Surprise can be good or bad, so take it how y'all want.
I'll start it off. I'm going to go with the New York Football Giants. Being a Jets fan, this is definitely painful for me to say, but just evaluating the tools that they got. You know, first big addition they had, obviously, Kenny Galladay. You know, a lot of people were talking about getting Daniel Jones a weapon, and that was going to be probably the best guy, best available pass catcher in free agency, so they took care of that. Added Adoree Jackson to share up that secondary.
that man's trash.
I mean, the corner, though. They needed a corner.
All right.
I mean, that's a tight.
As a Titans fan, bro, it's just like he can't cover.
Regardless, they got a killer front seven. I like Lorenzo Carr. Aziz, the Panthers from Georgia, Aziz Ojulari. He could have been a first round guy. Got him at 50. So two bookend guys get you past. Leonard Williams, Denny Shelton. They definitely have a solid defense. So like I said, talked about Kadarius Toney a little earlier. The pieces are forming into feel a good team. Joe Judge, becoming from a special team coach to a head coach that was always a little questionable, but he seems to just have done a decent job of managing his roster and managing the players. So I think in year 2, Daniel Jones bringing Saquon back, not all, but the different pieces they added in the draft and free agency, I can see them getting in the playoffs, at least a wild card.
I find it interesting that you say that because my surprise team is from the same division,
and
it's the team that will win the division again, and that's the Washington football team. Now, the Washington football team, they're proof that you don't need a good quarterback, or let me rephrase that. They're proof that you don't need a great quarterback to be successful in the NFL. This year, they're going into the season with Taylor Heineke and Ryan Fitzpatrick as 2 guys that could potentially start for this football team, but quarterbacks aren't what's important here. This is a team that's built on defense, a defense that was 4th in points allowed, 2nd in yards allowed, 7th in turnovers, 2nd in pass yards and touchdowns allowed, 5th in interceptions, and they have the 13th best run defense. This is a team that starts with on the front end with the likes of Chase Young, Sweat, Allen, and Payne. That's a front four that nobody wants to see. Any week, nobody wants to see that. And to back it up, they got the secondary that is literally locked down. They just don't have the big name guys. You look at William Jackson III, top 10 cornerback according to PFF. Kendall Fuller on the opposite side, and Jimmy Moreland in the slot playing the nickel. That's 3 solid corners who just get the job done. They don't have all the hype around their names or anything like that. They just get the job done. So like I said, this is a talented and loaded defense. And on offense, they have the weapons that can make up for subpar quarterback play. You look at a guy like Antonio Gibson. Had over 1,000 all-purpose yards last season. Had a 6-touchdown performance against the Cowboys on Thanksgiving Day. 3 rushing and 3 receiving. Van still has nightmares about that game.
No. That was then. This is now, bro.
And like I said, this offense, it can make up for less than great quarterback play. Because when you have weapons, you look at, they bring in Curtis Samuel, an all-purpose guy. A guy who can play in the backfield, can play out wide. Just a guy who can get the ball in his hands and he can go. And then you also bring in Diami Brown from UNC, a true boundary receiver. And then that adds to what they already got in terms of Terry McLaurin and Logan Thomas, a tight end who really came into his own in the league last year, and I think we saw that. And they also have Cam Sims, a guy who's starting to find his footing as the wide receiver 2 opposite McLaurin last year. So now you're looking at a team that's stacked on defense and on offense with weapons. They just don't have the big name quarterback. And I think even though they don't have that, this is a team that's going to win the division. And I wouldn't be surprised if they make a deep playoff run. You look at what they did against the Buccaneers.
Yeah, me too.
You look at what they did against the Buccaneers in the wild card this year. It was a close game with Taylor Heineke starting at quarterback.
But don't act like he wasn't balling out there.
He was balling. Oh, most definitely he was balling. And now you add some more weapons to that team, especially on the offensive side. This is a team that can be scary. It's a team that reminds me a lot of Peyton Manning's teams in Denver. Teams that had a great defense.
I was about to say, Indianapolis.
Teams that had a great defense, but they couldn't always rely on great quarterback play. Because we all know Peyton Manning in Denver didn't have his best performances all the time.
Or can throw the ball 40 yards.
Exactly. But they had a good running game. They had a good offensive attack in terms of guys who could get it and go. And that's just how they won games, won a Super Bowl. So that's what this team reminds me a lot of, and I think it wouldn't be a surprise to me, but it'd be a surprise to some to see them making a deep run into the NFC playoffs.
You had me, bro, and then I just looked at their roster, their depth chart. Ryan Fitzpatrick's going to be the starting quarterback for the Washington.
They don't have on Fitzmagic, bro.
He's
created a lot of he's created a lot of happiness for some low gesture for me, bro. We don't do Fitzpatrick.
He's a relief pitcher, bro. He's not an ace. So like beginning of the season, they might start off 4-5-0. Once you get film on Fitzpatrick, bro, it's easier to defend him. The more he plays, the worse he gets, and everybody knows that. So if he's starting off, if I'm the Washington football team, I wouldn't unleash him until week 12. I'm so serious, bro. But I mean, I like y'all picks. They both have chances to come in second and third place behind the Dallas Cowboys. Wild card. There's nothing wrong with getting a wild card. You in the playoffs, bro. It's just like getting in the Grizz game. Sometimes you gotta sit in the nosebleeds, bro. As long as you in the game, bro, you straight.
I mean, I definitely think our teams are similar, Nick. We talked about, we actually discussed, having the same teams. But the only thing I will say about the football team is versus the Giants, I think that the ceiling offensively for them is just a little bit higher because they have a Saquon Barkley and they have somebody that they at least are going to be committed to in Daniel Jones at quarterback.
They have a quarterback. A quarterback. That's the big thing.
I mean, I wouldn't call. I'm not all in the Daniel Jones, but the Giants are, and they seem. I mean, he's
nice.
He can make plays with his legs, so he got to stop turning the ball over. But
even though they have Daniel Jones, I wouldn't say the football team is committed to, but they made an effort to re-sign Taylor Heineke this offseason. He was a free agent. They said, well, you're not going nowhere. You're coming back. Yes, they brought Fitzpatrick in also, but I think that Heineke is really going to be the QB1 this year. I wouldn't be surprised because you saw what he did in the Bucs game, doing it passing, doing it running. That adds another dynamic to that offense, and I think that's an offense that can be scary, like I said, with the weapons they have.
You all got to take a look. I mean, I think they can be a good surprise offense. Scary, I don't think they're going to be scaring nobody. But I think they can be. I think the pieces are in place. Like with the Giants, I think the pieces are in place for them to make a surprise wild card run or win their division. Nobody had a winning record in the division. They can win that division. Yeah. So I think both our teams are capable of getting 8 wins.
Okay.
I agree with both of y'all. 8 wins, but that's not even 500 anymore. But anyways,
9-8.
I'm gonna go with a team that's been struggling. I think they're in the same boat as Nick, bro. Team that has the whole roster. They just looking for a quarterback now. I'm gonna go with a team out the NFC South. They went 5-11 last year. That's the Carolina Panthers. They getting the running back, Christian McCaffrey, top 5 back. They got a top 10 wide receiver core: Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore, David Moore. They just got from Seattle, and then you got Terrence Marshall Jr. coming in.
You said top 5?
Top 5 receiver core, yes.
Yeah.
That's a top 5. They was top 5 last
Have
year.
they even made a Pro Bowl?
I don't think.
I feel like Robbie made one.
No, I don't think
Robbie made one.
With the Jets.
He either made it last. I think he did.
He made it last year?
I think he made it with the Jets.
I'm telling you, bro. He did not make it with the Jets. Not even talk down to you.
Regardless, just as a core,
a
core. Like, just give me all them weapons. I think, and you add McCaffrey you can add him as a receiver. He a top 3 receiving back, regardless of what you think. That's what I'm saying, bro. So you can add him to the core. So you got that core. They might need a tight end, Dan Arnold. He's solid from the Arizona Cardinals, bro. But the defense is really gets scary, just like the Washington football team. You got Hassan Reddick, who also came from the Cardinals, had that 5-sack game last year. Then you got Derrick Brown in the middle. You got Brian Burns, Shaq Thompson, Denzel Perryman. Bro, the pass rush is about to go stupid. They got Gross Matos. You remember him?
Yeah, from BYU.
Oh my goodness. Then they just drafted J.C. Horn.
Yeah.
At corner. So it's about to get scary. They have a nice little secondary too. I think they can hang with they're not gonna beat the Buccaneers. I'm not delirious or nothing. But I think they're gonna have a much better record compared to what they had last season. That's why they're gonna be one of my biggest surprises.
As a skill guy, before we hop on this, because I know it hurt your heart to see both of them go before 10. Surtain or Horn, and why?
Give me Horn, because when you look at corners, I want to see a guy who can man up with you all game, and that's what Horn gives you. A guy who can man up with you, but not just man up with you, press you. He's gonna sit in that box and make you work all game. So for that reason, I'm taking J.C. Horn. Surtain is nice. I think Surtain has more. He has more scheme versatility than Horn, but I think Horn is just that dog you think of when you think of a number 1 corner in the league.
I think they both went to great places for them. I think they both gonna be Pro Bowls.
Yeah. The only thing I'd say about Patrick Surtain, and it had nothing to do with him, but Alabama DB do not have the best track record in the NFL. That's all I'll say.
Ron Humphrey had a good
game. Yeah.
What about D. Milner? Ask me where he's at.
He has some injury problems.
But he played his first 2 years. He did.
Minka Fitzpatrick. Oh, you said corners though. You said DBs.
I said corners. Just thinking about it in general, guys that
Eddie Jackson.
So another safety.
I mean, they say the safeties go stupid for him.
I can't think of too many corners that just came out of Alabama. Especially none that were hype.
It was one corner. He was so cold in college, but then he got to the pros and he was so trash.
You probably talking about D. Milner. Again, I think it's probably just. I'm sorry, that might have my Jets fan might have came out, but he was a 5th overall pick, man. Now Next
That's
time.
what you get for drafting a corner for though.
Yeah, bro. It's kind of.
So, as always, we end our episodes out by handing out game balls to big-time performances in sports and some things like that. But today I'm going to give mine out on a serious note. I got to give my game ball to Naomi Osaka for pulling out of the French Open. And the reason she pulled out of the French Open was because she said she didn't want to be a distraction, things like that. Because the French Open rules were that if you participate in the Open, you have to attend media conferences. Naomi didn't feel like she was in a mental state that was capable enough to deal with all the pressure and things like that of facing the media. So instead, she took a brave decision and decided to pull out of the French Open, and she should be applauded for that by bringing awareness to it and just making her own mental health a priority. And that's a big step for her and a big step for major sports in general.
Definitely feel that, like you said, a very good platform to step on in terms of mental health, and the fact that she's able to do this as arguably the biggest draw in tennis right now, Serena Williams,
the number 2 player.
So the fact that she's able to still as mental health awareness month passed, speak on how her depression and anxiety has affected her personally, and her to give up bread. We can talk a lot about things, but that pocketbook, that checkbook is one thing you do not play about. For her to be able to stand on her 10. Stand on her perspective of having to the media invasive press and things like that. That's something that it's been a common theme, but somebody as powerful as her in her sport, there's not really no precedent for this. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with tennis and the WTA and what they'll do. But speaking of trendsetters, we're gonna transition to Mike Conley, somebody that's currently killing Grizzlies fans after providing so much joy for us, for so many years. Everybody saw game 2, or was it game 3? I don't know. Where he went 7 for 10 for 3. He's averaging 20 points, 11 assists this series. And, he got a shockingly accurate quote about his experience of facing Ja in Memphis. Eric Walton from TRB Jazz tweeted out, "It's surreal. Him wearing the jersey I'm used to wearing and getting the cheers I'm used to wearing. You live long enough, you become the villain. And I've become that for the Memphis Grizzlies." Definitely think it's a little bit dramatic as my co-hosts look at me. But he's been killing the Grizzlies. That's all I got to say. It's definitely, it is surreal to see somebody that wearing the same number as Ja, being so integral to the team.
Ja wear number 12. You know that if you were a Grizzly fan.
Mike Conley wear number 12.
Mike Conley wear number 11.
He wore 12 in Memphis, didn't he?
He wore 10. He wears 10 now. He wore 11 in Memphis. You know that if you were a Grizzly fan.
Weird. It's weird, bro. I can't lie to you.
My game ball goes to Mike Conley for the way he's been killing the Grizzlies.
He went against the Memphis Tigers with the Cincinnati.
Hey, get that chuck figure out of my face, man. I don't
Bearcats.
care about that. And guess who won? Cincinnati, 49-10.
Oh my
It
goodness.
doesn't matter. Where your loyalty lie?
Facts.
And then bread.
Ladies, he cheats.
Whoa! Hey, delete that. Delete that. My girl watched this.
Nah.
Hey, Nick, delete that part. No, I don't. Faithful Black Men Association. I got my card on me, but it's
You
in
only
the
have
mail.
black.
I'm full faithful though, brother. Full faithful. Love you, baby. You a op. You was a op. You was a op for that.
Bro, I mean the proof in the pudding, bro. We see it. But anyways, you
I
want to
love
know
my
who is
girlfriend.
Al?
Who is that?
The All the Smoke podcast, bro.
Speak on it.
Gilbert Arenas. Steven Jackson. Becky with the good hair. I'm telling you, bro. And guess who had to call him out? The greatest center of the 2000s.
Woo-wee! What's his name?
That man. They combined with Kobe for 82 points. Big Kwame.
Oh, quit playing with a big Kwame Brown.
Kwame Brown. He had to call him out, let him know what it is and what it ain't, bro. Stephen A. Smith, the biggest op of them all, bro.
Boom.
Hater,
You see,
man.
Stephen A. I still want to work with you at some point.
Facts, bro. Bro, we just playing, I swear.
I mean,
But
you was-
anyways,
that was some op behavior, but
yeah, bro. But Kwame Brown, shout out to him, standing up for himself. They've been giving him hell for literally 20 years.
Yeah.
20 years he's been giving. He went through
Certified
the Jordan
bum.
camp. What?
Certified bum.
Yeah, I mean, on the court. In real life, bro, I don't know. Who knows, bro?
let me find this real quick. Do y'all know how many YouTube subscribers Kwame Brown had before 3 weeks ago?
No.
5.6. Because he's been on YouTube a long time.
Yeah.
But he had 5,500 subscribers. I'm gonna look up right now. We're gonna find out on this show how many subscribe to Kwame Brown guy on YouTube right now. And his YouTube channel is appropriately titled Kwame Brown Bus Life.
Bro, he actually averaged 10 points.
326K.
Wow.
Kwame Brown, you are a media genius. You need to release a master class on how you did that right there.
Bro,
I'll pay for it.
There was a season he averaged 11 and 7. That's decent.
Yeah.
11 and 7.
Yeah.
I was like Valanciunas' third season.
We're gonna shout out Kwame Brown for defending black men and attacking, investigating and probably analyzing the invasive sports media culture that is out there, which is very correct. But
Is he the worst number 1 pick ever?
Anthony Bennett.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. He did it pretty garbage.
We're not gonna speculate where Kwame is on that scale, but if we had to say who is the worst, Anthony Bennett. I mean, he let snoring keep him out of the NBA. And he was in the NBA 4 seasons?
I don't even know.
Kwame Brown was a 10, 11 year vet. So
Yeah, bro.
he had longevity if nothing else.
But they tried to say he had Anthony Davis potential, though.
Who?
That's what they said.
Oh, on this podcast?
Yeah. Factor cap.
Who, Kwame?
Mm.
Went number 1 on
I want to see him in high school. I want to see a high school game, bro. And that'll tell me everything I need to know. Like, was he just bigger than everybody, or was he actually hooping?
Skilled.
Yeah.
It's just so crazy. Like, how do y'all feel? Like, on one end, I definitely think that he has went over the top with the name calling, some of the personal issues. But this man has literally become synonymous with failure in basketball for over 20 years. Like, he was bound to say something at some point.
Yeah. He had to.
It's just, so many people would never have heard Kwame Brown speak during his professional basketball career. For him to, be this outspoken and be outlandish with it, it's just wild to see and wildly entertaining. During a post-COVID world. So thank you, Kwame, for providing this spark of intelligent entertainment into our lives. We truly appreciate it. We want to reach out to you. Come on our podcast. Don't show us any basketball drills, but come show us about this media masterclass that you have. Please.
Yeah. And so with that wraps up another episode of No Cap Podcast, man. Hope y'all enjoyed this one. We back live in the flesh with it. Make sure y'all stay tuned because we're going to be here all summer.
Yes, sir.
And so with that, we out of here.
That's scrolling.
Bang.